bringing in another load. That strip over there is done already on this one. I think in the last video I said 7 or 8 acres. I don't even think it's that. It's probably more around 5 or 6. We really don't know because we kind of just made these fields this spring like this. And this is supposed to be a field. This is supposed to be a field. And then there's another field on top of that. And then there's a little field up on top. They're supposed to be alternated. So up there is supposed to be corn, hay, then corn, hay, corn, no, corn, hay. That's what it's supposed to be like, or opposite, hay, corn, hay, corn, hay, corn. But, yeah. We didn't need as much hay this year, so we just ripped it up last fall and planted these little oat strips out here to keep in with the conservation. I've been getting a lot of questions lately. I just released the 3rd hay chopping video yesterday. There's oats today. And one of the questions was, why don't you hoe with the 30-20? Well, I'm going to let you figure that out when I go up this hill on loose gravel. I do got my front wheel assist on. No one's coming. Evidently there's a bigger gap between those gears than I thought. Wow, it didn't power hop this time. Yes, I got the AC on, so you really can't hear her. She's bogging down. Yes, I am in a high gear, but 30-20? No way in hell. Those tires are bald, has nowhere near the weight. Yeah. Wouldn't have enough power either unless you pull it up in first gear, which that's going to take a long time. There's a reason why we have a 4450 on them. If we were in flatland, it'd be perfectly fine to haul at 30-20. And then if you do make it up the hill, it weighs so not very much. It's just gonna push you down this one. And I don't really like getting pushed down hills. I don't know about anybody else. It doesn't push you much in these track gears, but when you're on a 30-20, you're basically dead. This hill it's not as steep, but it's long. The one pulling into the yard, that's steep and short. So, and a bunch of loose gravel. And then the other questions were, why is there a water tank on the chopper? It's more for alfalfa. When it gets a certain moisture, it doesn't want to blow out of the blower pipe very good in the chopper. So you add a little bit of water, and that helps it from gumming and getting this gummy stuff on the spout on the chopper, and it makes it blow better. We haven't even used it on this chopper. Our old chopper didn't have it. We had a 3940, which is the smallest pull type, I believe. And we had problems the last year we had that, so we made sure they got a water tank on it. And I believe this is the 4th year we've had it. We never had to use it yet. This is the hill I was talking about. And I still have my differential on. No wonder why I wasn't turning very good. Forgot to top it off. This is only a 100-footer bag. The thing about oats is you can't get them packed in there too tight because supposedly they expand when they get in there and it could rip your bag. And it bags a lot smoother. You see how smooth that is compared to haylage? Haylage bags bumpy, while Oats bags pretty smooth. That's basically all I got. I have the lights on because we just put a new alternator in it, and evidently it's charging too much. So you put the lights on, and that's not a problem. Turn the radio on, it'll help too. But I'm gonna get ready to unload. I don't even think we'll fill this bag because there's not that much oats. And the other field of oats is 6 or 7 miles away, and we're not gonna haul chopper boxes that far. And that one is broken, full load in there, so there's a shear pin broken. We don't have time to mess with it because the oats are getting too dry. Holy cow, that was 6 minutes.